Hey, what's up guys? Have a flashlight review for you. It's been a while since I reviewed any flashlights, and I have a bunch of flashlights to review. A couple new ones I got, like this Triton, this M3X from Olight, which is an amazing beast of a flashlight. But besides that, I also have some awesome EDC lights. Lights like this are very cool. Novelty for some. For some, it could be a great work light. In fact, this is highly recommended, the #1 recommended flashlight, in my opinion, if you are a security guard. You can't beat it for this package, but that's just my opinion. Of course, you'll know more about that in the review here. But of course, this is also way too large to fit in your pocket. There's some other offerings from Olight as well as some from other companies, so you will see some more flashlight reviews in the future. I got a AAA light that is just kick butt. I have another CR123 flashlight, and I have 3 or 4 AA flashlights. Okay, I know a lot of you guys are specific to one type of battery. Just like your guns, you stick with one caliber. That's cool, so I do have a variety of stuff to show you. But today, I'm showing you this beast. Look at the head on this guy. It's massive. This thing is pumping out 1,000 lumens on max, okay, 300 on low. It does have a strobe mode. I have the one I've been using here. Underneath, I have another brand new one. And in fact, I have a third brand new one. And I'm going to be giving away 2 of these. One is courtesy of goinggear.com, and another one is courtesy of Battery Junction. So you'll see that in a separate video. But this is just the review. So I want to show you the packaging and everything. You guys know I don't usually keep packaging, but on the new ones here, didn't touch anything at all. The only thing I did was take out the instruction manual so I can show you that. But here's how you're going to get these in a very cool plastic case. What I like about this case is this is perfect for a car carry. You can keep everything in here, right in your trunk. If you got a go bag in your trunk, some kind of duffel bag. I happen to keep a hard plastic case in there with all kinds of emergency things. I got flares, I got water, I got basic tools, a set of sockets and stuff, everything that matches, so I could do some quick work on the side of the road if I broke down, all kinds of crap like that. So I like this hard case. It's a great little package for storage, particularly in a vehicle. But anyway, you can see the advertisement right in the front here. Gives you some information right on the front. Max 1,000 lumens, goes out to 580 meters, 5-hour runtime. A little bit different. It shows a max 5-hour runtime, but that is on low, so it's a little bit misleading. You think, oh, 1,000 lumens for 5 hours. No. So a little, like I said, a little misleading there, but it's still true. It's just, yeah, you know the deal. Impact resistant up to 2 meters, waterproof, the IPX8 standard. That's pretty much across the board with a lot of these flashlights. Same with the fit and finish, and all these flashlights, they are very high end. They all have, most of them I should say, are aluminum. They're hard anodized, usually I think type 2. All right, so on the bottom here we have some more information. Okay, of course, same thing, max 1,000 lumens. World Superclass Bright Cree XM-L2. This is my first flashlight with an XM-L2 LED, and with this power source behind it, it is rocking. It's pumping some light out. More than most of you guys will ever need for anything. 2 brightness levels and strobe. I'll show you that in a second. Now the battery options here, you have an optional extension tube, which is not pictured on front. I'll show you that when I open this up, but this light has it on here. Okay, so you see that's picturing the light, and then you have the optional extension, which gives you the capability of throwing another CR123 in here. You can also run this light onto rechargeable 18650s. A lot of people like those. I actually would prefer the 18650s. I got rid of a bunch of my flashlight stuff a while ago, and I regret getting rid of those batteries and my charger because people do prefer them. Sometimes they have a better performance overall, of course being rechargeable. It's a lot cheaper in the long run than your CR123s. But anyway, very cool hard case, all the information you need to know. And here's another thing too, because of the smaller tube on this, on the handle, this is capable of being a weapons light. You can mount this onto your weapon of choice. It is, heavy for a weapons light. It does have a massive head on it. Very intimidating. Of course, in here they're showing some night hunting with a scope. And even though it seems a little far-fetched, and it would really weigh down that barrel, this would reach out to anything you're hunting with the scope. No doubt about that. I don't know, I mean, he's right in front of thick wood, so that's a little optimistic there in that picture. And this dude's just with a huge belly or very large coat, just kind of, I don't know, is he drinking a beer or is he looking through binoculars? I think he's just drinking a beer. He's entertained by that. But anyway, let's pop this open, see what we got in here. Okay, so nice little presentation here. We have a very functional sheath for this. Of course, it does come with a pocket clip. I took mine off for the one I use. I'm not gonna use this in my pocket. It's not necessarily for your pocket. It's more like a belt clip. You know, if you just had nowhere to put it real quickly, you can slip it through your, you know, the waistband on your pants. But it does work, of course. Goes in with the head facing up, the bottom's exposed so this can stick out. Whether you have the extension or not, of course, it would end a little bit shorter without the extension. Goes without saying. But it does function. It's just, I personally wouldn't use this. Has the D-ring. Of course, also has the regular loop with Velcro. So if you're a security guard, this might be your preferred option for carry. But anyway, yes, very functional. Besides that, of course, like many lights these days, they come with some spare O-rings in here. If you ever need to replace them, all right, that will keep your light waterproofness. They do work. Okay, as far as there's plenty of good information out there, I would definitely check CPF, candlepowerforms.com, for special types of grease you want to use. Certain grease and lubricants you don't want to use on O-rings because they will deteriorate the rubber. I'm not going to talk about that much in this video, but just be careful what you're using if you are replacing your O-rings. You do want to lubricate that just a little bit so they don't tear. Here's your extension piece, your extension tube. If you choose to use the extra battery, here's the flashlight looks without it. Here's a comparison with the extension on, of course, on the bottom, and on the top one, it's obviously off. Very easily wielded without the extension. It's actually not as big as you would think. The head is quite large, but it's still easy to wield in, you know, either grip. Of course, this is a tail clicky, so I would hold it in a reverse grip like this to use it. But even with this, it's not that much of a difference. It just feels a lot more comfortable without the extension. All right, here you can see the pocket clip on here. I took mine off. It's very easy to do. So unscrew your tail cap here. Once that's off, there's another retaining ring here. We'd unscrew that all the way. And then, of course, you can pop your clip off. I want to do that in this one because this one is not mine. I'm going to be giving this away, possibly to you. What do you think about them apples, huh? Oh, you don't like apples? What do you think about them pears? Really? You don't eat fruit at all? It's kind of sad. All right, so I don't want making my jokes and try not to cross-thread this. Doop, 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 doop. There we go. You got to be careful. There's fine threads on this. Actually, I'll take apart this side to show you that. You don't want to cross-thread these. Very nice fit and finish on all the Olight products. The threading is nice and tight, very fine. Okay, you can see in here. The knurling on this is actually very functional. You can see it's all over the place here. It does add some grip. It's not sharp at all, but it does definitely, if you had wet hands or something, it would aid in keeping your grip on this light. You can see some fins cut out here. This is basically your heat sink. Okay, with the larger LEDs or brighter LEDs and more power, it will generate some heat. These fins kind of dissipate that heat a little bit. You'll see these on most very large and or very powerful flashlights. All right, even some of the mag mods you'll see out there, people will do their own finning. If that's even a term, finning. Their own milling. Does have a crenulated bezel, which is just fancy word for loop-de-loops all around here. These serve really two functions. They make it tactical, so you can strike someone in the face. Of course, the butt end of here is much sharper, much more acute. So if you needed to, you could use this as an impact device or impact weapon at that point. But what I like about crenulated bezels the most is that if I happen to have this flashlight on, which I'll show you with this one, if I don't drop it, turn this flashlight on, and I rest it down somewhere, well, guess what? It allows light to escape out the side so I can tell that it's on. If you have a flat bezel on your flashlight and you have it on and put it down, you may not recognize it's on. You may drain your batteries. So I like it for that purpose. It's very rare you're going to end up smashing someone's face with this. You can see on the bezel here, of course, it shows that, that LED again, the XM-L2. Let's take the shorter one so we can take a look at that. Like I said, huge, deep head on this, very smooth, polished reflector. This offers a lot of throw on this. This is a pocket spotlight. It is fantastic. It will reach out as far as you want it to reach out. Most, I would say, whatever you can't light up with this is probably too far for your eyes to see anyway. You don't need much more light than this. This is definitely going to make a lot of people happy out there. See that LED in there and that very highly polished reflector. A lot of power going on here. So anyway, besides that, here's your tube. This is for your CR123s. This gives it a little bit of a tighter fit in there. Let me show you what it looks like with this one. Of course, the tube only holds the 3, not the 4th one. Okay. So the tube just takes up that tiny bit of space that's left over in there. You can use this without the tube. They will rattle slightly. Of course, that's why they give you this insert. All right, so you don't have to worry about them rattling. You can hear it rattle a little bit when the tube's in there. Keeps the rattle down a little bit. Of course, once you have the pressure, you don't get any rattle at all. Again, be very careful screwing these back on. You don't want to cross-thread it. So there's no rattle whatsoever. So that's why they give this little tube. Okay, of course, if you're using the 18650s, you don't want to use that tube. It's only for the CR123s. So here's how it works. You put this one back, nice and fresh and clean. Someone will win this and they'll be very happy with it. I just want to give you some quick specs before I talk about the user interface or how this works, how to get to different modes. It's very simple. But the on high, it's 1,000 lumens. Now they're saying an hour and 20 minutes on high. I personally tested this on 4 brand new CR123s. I used the extension tube and I got exactly an hour and 17 minutes. So it's pretty darn close to their estimation. On low on the 300 lumens, you get a total of 5 hours. I did not personally test that, but I'll take the word for it because my first test on high was pretty darn accurate. So I was very happy with that. How to use this light is very simple, like most tail clickies. You push it in lightly for momentary on. Okay, so you can keep the light on. When you let go, shut off. If you want it for constant on, you're just going to click. When the head is tightened down all the way, you're automatically on high, you're 1,000 lumens. All right, to change modes, whether it's on or off, you're going to rotate the head clockwise, and that's going to drop it down to 300 lumens. All right, if you want to go into strobe mode, you quickly go from high to low, and it'll give you your constant strobe. All right, just twist it again to shut it off. High 1,000 lumens, low 300 lumens. They're both extremely bright. But what's good about this is that you can always keep that head tightly cinched down and you know you're going to be at 1,000 lumens. It's a very simple user interface or UI, so you don't have to cycle through a bunch of different modes to try to get what you want. Most people like the high mode on their flashlight. They like the most output. As mentioned, if you have to use this light in close quarters, if you have to use this flashlight for, say, something 5 feet away, 1,000 lumens is going to be ineffective. It's going to be counterproductive. There is a such thing as a flashlight that's too bright for you. If you have to read a map in a car, 1,000 lumens is going to blind you. You're not going to be able to read anything. So that's when I would drop it down to 300 lumens and don't shine it directly on something. Let's say I'm reading a piece of paper, like this warranty card. 1,000 lumens, I can't read it. What I want to do is drop this down to 300 lumens and shine it over here and just use the spill, as you can see here, to read. All right, just a little tip, it works with any flashlight, but of course this is very bright. It's not necessarily meant for something up close. This is to go outside and reach out and light something up way, way on yonder. So anyway, I took this out of the brand new one because I don't keep my paperwork at all, but you do get a little bit of a registration card here, a warranty card, and you get your user manual, which is unfolded here. Of course, you have, I think, Chinese or Japanese, and of course the English side. It could tell you, the basic information on the bottom, specifications. On the back, it's going to show you your battery options here, just a little diagram. Of course, what you're supposed to receive in the package, your spare O-rings, your battery magazine, well, same battery magazine, but that's just your tube, your extension tube, and of course your holster or sheath. And on the bottom here, it shows you the user interface once again. In case you forgot that, you can always reference your user guide. So that's pretty much it. This is a fantastic flashlight. I want to show you some beam shots outside. All right, so it's dark out, and we're gonna do some beam shots of this Olight Triton. There's 2 settings here, well, 2 major settings besides strobe. First, we have the full-on 1,000 lumens. There you can see the side of my house, so you don't normally get to see. But on 1,000 lumens, it lights up the entire side of the house. Hard to see on camera, but the spill is actually the entire house. The main beam looks to be about 50 or 60% of it. But I promise that the spill, actually, it's hard to see, but like all the way over there, you can see that fence. It's actually just a little bit of fencing that was protecting where the propane tanks were. But the spill goes beyond that and onto the shed. All right, so if I turn this, you can see still on the house where that spill goes as I turn it left. And again, the center of the house. So that's going at least 20 or 30 feet off to the side, off that main beam. Here's Gus. Way too bright to even pick up on him. But anyway, yeah, there's the 1,000 lumens. All right, so we turn the head of it, and we're down to 300 lumens, which of course gives us much more runtime. By the way, I'm doing this testing with the 4 CR123s. Okay, so I have the extension piece on. Now on the 300 lumens, again, in person, the spill is showing me the entire house. Of course, not quite as bright. And as I turn this, if I put it all the way to the left of the house, you can see the spill is barely getting that fence portion. And as I bring it to the middle, it does illuminate the entire fence, but not quite as bright. What you guys are seeing is barely anything. I'm seeing, you know, it gives me a normal light where I can functionally see over there. All right, so back to the house. We now have this on the 300 lumens. Going to turn this a little bit. So you can see down there is a wood pile, and Gus. Of course, you can maybe see Gus. But to the right of him is a wood pile. This is the trees that I've been chopping down. Might make a video separately on that, because I know a lot of people were very distressed to see me chopping dead wood. Anyway, that's all wood that I can use for new splitting demos. So tons of wood, and of course a crap load of bags of leaves, which I have to get rid of soon. All right, just want to make sure I was backed out all the way. If I turn this on high, the 1,000 lumen setting, you can see the spill lights up the entire yard. It's very easy to see. I mean, 1,000 lumens is a lot of light, and it's kind of hard to tell from a video, but when you get here in person, it really lights up the entire yard. So it's very cool. If I aim this up, you can see way across the street at my neighbor's house, which has got to be at least 100 feet, if not a little bit longer. And I'm sure they don't like me shining this into their bedrooms. Looks like a searchlight. So let's go up into the trees over the house. 1,000 lumens, it reaches way out there. Kind of like a spotlight. I mean, if a bear climbed up in the trees, I'd see him very easily. It's very cool. I mean, this light has a lot of throw. It has a deep head on it. Nice polished reflector. Okay, so there is quite a bit of throw in here, but what I like about this is there's still a lot of spill because there's just so much power. You can see I'm way up in the trees there, but the entire side of the house is lit up. All right. 1,000 lumens is a lot. Let's go back down to 300. You can see the difference here. House is still illuminated in person. I can see it fine. On camera, it's probably a lot dimmer than I can see with my eyes, but again, go back to 1,000, and it just lights up everything. It's ridiculous. It's an awesome, awesome light to have for your car, for emergencies, for a spotlight. If you're some kind of an officer, it's a great duty light. You know, I'm not speaking from experience, but perhaps a security guard position, we need to throw some light on a subject. This will definitely get the job done. All right, so there it is. I am very, very impressed with this light. Too big to be EDC, like I said, unless you're using it for your profession. But as a car light, as an emergency light, if you're an EMT, if you're a police officer, you know, military, whatever, this is a fantastic light to really throw a lot of light on the subject. The price on these are $129 from Going Gear. I'll put a link directly in the description box so you can check it out. Be careful, there's another version with a different LED that's only 700 lumens for the same price. Okay, so the link I'm providing is directly for the 1,000 lumen version of this Triton. I think it's well worth the money. Not everyone's gonna wanna spend $130 on a flashlight, but this flashlight, for what it offers, I think it does provide a lot for the money that it costs. Comparing to other flashlights in the market, once you get over $100, you're looking at the 600 lumens, 700 lumens, 1,000. Some lights you can get into about 1,300 lumens or so. But you're getting a lot for your money. In this case, you are getting a little package with everything you need, and just a fantastic flashlight. So highly recommended. As far as a weapons light, totally cool, very impressive. Not necessary, and it will weigh your weapon down quite a bit. But hey, if you got one of them Mole Ninja ARs or something, and you have everything in the world on it except for an awesome flashlight, you're missing this beast of a light. And yes, it is Gus snoring in the background because he thinks I talk too much. So anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Take care.